That's where I say, but have you ever felt that you was in competition with any MC? Like, or felt any MC was competing with you, should I say? Because there have been MCs that's been, you see when you had that Street Fighter bar,
yeah,
that's when I noticed a few MCs was competing with you. The Enter one.
Okay.
With the Street Fighter
Even them times when I made that.
arena.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But no one
That's what
I can't say that that's for you to
yeah,
do.
yeah. But even when I made that bar there, that was just purely based, because that's what the fuck I was doing like 24/7. I was just like, when I weren't writing and stuff, I was playing stuff like I was playing Street Fighter and I thought, make a bar out of that. That was all it was. It wasn't that I was clashing with anybody. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was just literally just to make a bar out of it. And it, as I said, it was a bit like, you know, it's a bit like the auto trader bar. So I just, yeah, I can do that. Street Fighter and Street Fighter as well. It was just an easy kind of bar to flip. Do you know what I mean? Because that's one thing I do. If I make a bar that sounds pretty sick, I feel okay, something similar to that, but just make a different topic. Do you know what I mean? So I make 3 bars out of the one. As I said, auto trader, Street Fighter. You know, the same flow, bam, 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 bam. If you check that, lyrics, the exact same flow, do you know what I mean? But one's about cars and one's about Street Fight. And that's just about it, really, truly. So, is there any MC that, you know, there was a time when there started to be a little kind of skirmish or war thing, but that wasn't even nothing to do with me. It was, you know, X, Y, Z, and this man and that man or whatever, but I didn't even really get fully drawn in it. I was actually away in Miami at the time. And then I came back and then there was all this kind of issues were going on.
That was like a few weeks that lasted, didn't it?
Yeah, a couple of weeks, you know what I mean, where man was going up the radio and then boom, it was just kind of, you know, man was doing shows and that, and it's kind of going at man a little bit, but it was just bringing the whole,
Can we say the names for the viewers, please? Just for
not
the viewers.
really, no man, because it's not things.
Yeah, it's not like that.
It's not like that, and it's like, you know, it's something that was bad for the scene, to be honest. And then trust me, a lot of people within the scene just looked at it like, this is what we don't want in drum and bass. You know, that's why we don't cross over. There's a big divide in drum and bass in terms of, I don't know, corporates like Jump Up and, dare I say it, serious drum and bass music. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like hard proper drum and bass that, you know, the likes of, you know, the Andy C's, the Sub Focuses, you know, these guys are making serious music, do you know what I mean? And then obviously on the other side you've got guys that are making just straight jump up music, and obviously there's a divide in terms of some guys maybe from that side of the table don't really respect what some of the guys on this side of the table are doing. So it just so happens that the guys that are on this side of the table are all into MCing as well. And that's what sounds good. It complements Jump Up, you know what I mean? Not to say that it doesn't complement you know, that style of drum and bass too, but it needs to be handled with a lot more care, man, and as I said, allow the music to breathe, basically, because that's what it's really about. It's really about the music. It's not really about that side of things. And that's why I understand it when I see people frowning upon it and this and that, and it's because it's not really supposed to. And that's what sometimes even sometimes when we're doing nothing, I'm like, right, let's hold on a minute, because I know for a fact it's mainly about the music. That's what it's mainly about. And under this MC thing, it's just been finally creeping in, and now it's at the stage where, yeah, we're at the forefront. You know what I mean? It's mainly about the MCs. Hey, they're the biggest drum and bass, jump up drum and bass parties are the things where, yo, Skibadee, you know, Evil B, you know, X. Any of these parties are going to be really busy. You understand what I'm saying? Because over the years, we've kind of pushed our way to the forefront. That's what we've had to do. Because it started with us being, even before I came along, MCs were behind the DJ box as well. Totally outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People like Det and them guys there will tell you about them days, you know what I mean? But so it's been you know, slowly pushing forward. But still there's always been the reason why it started like that, because that's how it's meant to be set. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, chill in the background, say a couple of words, and boom, that's how it's meant to be set, really and truly. But as I said, over the years, boom, 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 you know, voices have got to be heard and stuff like that. But as I said, me personally, I know how it's set and that. I do respect that side of things, and if I ever get to represent on that side of things, I'll play the game with that side of things. I'm like, yo, take it easy, just chill, just work with it a bit. You don't have to pepper the whole thing, because you're raping the music a little bit. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's best to just like, yo, me personally, let the thing drop, bam. Let them feel the thing a little piece, bam. Pepper them for 16, 32 bars, maybe, boom, ease off again. That's the way to do that thing then, and you don't even do it on every tune. And to be honest, it's fucking a lot more easier to work. It's a lot easier to work, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's funny, sometimes the people over that side of things just think that we're going to come and rape it, so they don't even give you the opportunity. They won't even say, yo, Storming, come and spit over, you know, stop focus, and you see or whatever, because they know what you do and that's what people expect you to do. Me personally, I love both sides of it. I do love just chilling out a little bit, do you know what I mean? Complimenting little beats and boom, back off a little bit, boom, boom, because that's how I think it's supposed to be. When you know, when you got beats like that are real, alright, this beat's sick. Even sometimes I want to hear it for a little bit too. I don't want to jump all over it because I know, this rhythm is sick and I want to enjoy it for a little bit, and then okay, boom, give me time to think about what I can, boom, boom, I'll do this and do that. So, as I said, but you can't do that in on a jump up thing. You get me? Jump up, soon it comes, you got to pepper it because it complements that, and that's what people expect you to do. So it's just where you're playing, and just taking everything into consideration, and not necessarily just raping every rhythm really and truly. So that's a lot for me.
But even just you're not just an MC. You done a CD with Dirty Dogs. How did that come about? Or should I say goods?
Good, yeah. Well,
Good point, you know.
yeah. That was again a studio that I had over West London at the time. I was the first man to actually get flipping goods in the studio, bro. A lot of people don't know that. But first thing time he ever actually recorded something, it's like, yo, listen to this. And that was in my studio. And I can't remember. That's it, Kodge. You know Kodge?
Yeah,
Kodge is kind of like cousin of a cousin.
Blackstar Sound.
Yeah, he's like cousin of a cousin as well. Still, so I think Kodge must have. That's how I linked goods.
Right.
Yeah, because Kodge must have brought him up one time. It's like, yo, what this you? And the ends, right? It's kind of fight still. And I was like, dreaming. He would just pepper. You get me? So he started doing tunes. I started doing a couple of tunes. And then we done a thing together, innit? That Too Fast, Too Ferocious.
That's the one. That's
the one. Too Fast, Too Ferocious.
Too Fast, Too Ferocious. You know what I mean? And that was just mad fun. And that
did damage on road though, fam. That did a lot of damage on road. A lot of damage on road, fam. Trust me.
Listen, let me tell you how that thing that come back. It was just like Dogs was coming in. True, as I said, I was the first man to bring him into the studio, and he was just peppering up rhythms, just like rhythms that were out there already, like flipping ludicrous tune or this tune.
Yeah.
He was just peppering up rhythms. So he used to come in and just like, yeah, I want to do a version of this tune. Yeah, I want to do a version of that tune. He was coming in, just licking that tune. He would go and I think, shit. Bam, I think, you know what, let me look for 2-3 other tunes, bam, and try vocal as well, and then boom, before you know it, we had like 40, 50 odd different tunes, bro, you get me, and I was just, bro, that whole Too Fast, Too Far, I mixed the whole thing, you know.
Mix it down.
I mixed the whole thing. When you hear all the little, the intro, the little bombs
and everything,
and all that, bro, I mixed the whole thing. A lot of people don't know that, bro, the whole, on my computer, because I was using Pro Tools, that was the first time I started using Pro Tools, and that. So bam, got each tune, bam, started searching for fucking samples here, bombs and this and that, little samples of this film, samples of that film, so I had done the whole thing, fam, trust me. Man, 49 tunes exactly. My buds, and that was time ago, that was ages ago. But yeah, I didn't really realise how much damage that was doing on road, but Dogs, man, he was so sick, bro.
Yeah.
Sick. Some of the tunes that he came with one day was just pepper. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's how all that came about, really. You know what I mean?
So where can the people find you? Like,
fam, I promise you.
Hold on, wheel up again. Is there anything else you would like to ask the artist, Lardy?
Yes, Rude boy. No, just one last question. So, you see the current state of UK music,
Yeah.
as it is, like, do you pay attention to it? Like, the really young artists coming up, like, do you really pay attention to any of that?
A little bit here and there. As I said, there's so much going on in our scene at the moment that I need to have my eye on the ball in terms of just what's going on, because you know it's very, how can I say it? It's like new ground where we're at with our thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, we've probably been trying to get to this kind of stage. MCs have been trying to get to the stage where we're at for a hell of a long time. So I've had to spend a lot of time just keeping my eye on it. Alright, what do we need to do here? What do we need to do there? How can we just spin it different? How can we keep it fresh? How can you know, we just keep it moving and not make it get stale and stuff. So I've had to spend a lot of time on that. But yeah, you know, I'm aware of a lot of the new cats coming out, and to be honest, a lot of the new cats, there's a lot of new cats that's not even really new. You know what I mean? There's lots of the people that are around me that are kind of doing things at the moment. They've been around for a minute. The Chipmunks, the Lethal Bees, the Frisco's, you know what I mean? The Dizzy Rascals, you know what I mean? So I know there's a whole new wave, even new generation even after that. Two probably the generations after that now, you know what I mean? But so I have to keep an eye on all of them when things are still popping so vibrantly on this side of the map, you know what I mean? I've still got to keep on my toes, keeping up with man like Stormin and Shire Shot and these guys, so you know, you have to put a lot of time in it, you know. My thing is a lot of time left, and these guys write really fast, you know what I mean? Me personally, the way I write is I like to feel it, do you know what I mean? So I won't necessarily just write like that. I would record straight, as opposed to I would do a Jay-Z thing. That's what I do. The last flipping 100 of tunes I've done that I could play you. I've got no way that I've written the lyrics, because I'm not writing the lyrics. I'm just doing it as God. I'm making the whole thing make sense. Eventually, the whole thing. I'm just making sure every line makes sense. Come to whatever the recorders is. And I don't need to write the lyrics down on the thing to do that, do you know what I mean? I prefer to just do it as I'm going along, so I'm getting the right delivery as well. And I've done that for the last 5, 10, 15 years, recorded like that, so that's just how I record. I just get a good energy and good sound by doing it like that.